player's handbook.
Oh, Blaze is willing to be your scribe.
So this is essentially, hey, thank you
have
guys.
my pen.
This is gonna be, I mean, this is the chat's character we're gonna be making. So overview for anyone, just so we know kind of what's gonna be happening here.
There's a notes section in the character build, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you, Brendo Thomas. It's been a second since I've been in here, but
Say, Nightbot doesn't.
Oh yeah, I don't even need to do this word thing then.
Nightbot over there pitching alien.
Oh yeah, well that's fine. Let me get to this. So this is the overview of, if you had the book, these are all the chapters in the player's handbook, where it shows like, you know, your step-by-step characters are going to show you. You'll choose a race first, and then the class. These things would confuse me a lot of like, well, wait, what's the race and a class? What's the differences there? The race is going to be kind of like what actual, as you see here, like what is the race of the thing? Is it like dwarf, elf? Because I used to think like it went with it of like, yeah, aren't all dwarfs like they use sledges and they have like what is it, like they're all pretty much like, I would essentially link barbarians or like paladins to just dwarfs, thinking, oh, anything, because dwarves always use, you know, maces or mallets or sledgehammers and stuff, right? Not necessarily. That's where I would confuse a lot of the two things of races and classes of like, oh no, you can have separate things. Like a dwarf can use a bow and arrow and be, any of these other classes, or use magic. So that's where I would confuse and blend a lot of that stuff is, half elves or elves. I would just think like Lord of the Rings of, oh, okay, those are always the ranger, right? That always have a bow and arrow. That's what like the elf does. And it's like, no, not necessarily. Elves could also do whatever, cast magic or use a mace and other stuff. Like you can be an elf and be a barbarian type of beating somebody up. So that's the differences that I would naturally merge, just thinking of, you know, Lord of the Rings and things like that. I would initially put a class on somebody's race because, you know, just watching
Typecasting.
pretty much. I mean, just, you know, anything that's like that, any medieval type of shows is like, oh yeah, the big brute guy is always the barbarian type of a thing, but that doesn't have to be. You can blend and make everything. I mean, as you guys have seen on games nowadays, of you can make everything interchangeable and whatnot. So that's we got the races in class. Equipment, it walks you through everything your character is going to start out with. Customizing some stuff, ability scores. We'll go through that, where we'll either do a point spending system, or we can roll. I don't know if you guys will want me to be rolling for the character stats. As we've seen, I roll terrible for characters. And then it tells you like adventuring once you start, of like what your character could be doing and like how to play the game. Combat, that's a whole like, you know, section on that. And this is where DMs help, because somebody that makes a character usually needs help with every step of this, because it's too hard to read all this and understand it, especially being, all right, I'm here to play for the day. What am I doing? I want to play this and this. And it's like, okay, well, first you need to do a lot of homework. First you need to do your taxes for your character before you can play him.
With all due respect, please do not roll for us.
Yeah, there you go.
I will roll.
Yeah, so I'm essentially the DM that's going to walk you through all of this, and we'll make a character together. That way you have the experience, and you'll feel less like, if you ever want to play D&D, this is what's holding you back, is like, well, I don't know what all of this means, and I don't want to read all this. Like, I don't blame you. So I'll be that bridge to help you here. And then what's nice is D&D Beyond is the next best bridge is if you don't have someone helping you, this thing walks you through all of it, which is awesome. You fell to W2. Sorry, we meant to give you a 1099. Exactly, Mr. Rush. Exactly. Because like I showed on the stream the other day of a finished character sheet.
It's a backseat.
Like, let's go in here. I'll open up another tab here. A finished character sheet is insane to look at. It is overwhelming if you don't know what all of the stuff says. Like this. This is a finished character sheet. This is too much info to take in. This is a lot.
Play.
And I can't even scroll all the way down to show you guys. This is a lot here. I don't know. I got to kind of give myself a little bit more of room on the viewer there. But yeah, that's a lot. This is hurting my brain. Yeah, don't worry. We haven't started yet. I'm just kind of giving overviews so that you get a little bit acquainted with everything. And now I'll go through and start from the beginning. And we'll start, too many steps. It's crazy that I'm, of all people, I've ever played this game, because this is way too many steps. But I showed you just real quick overview, and then now we'll go back and this is the official starting now. And they even show you, they have different ways you could start it. You could do standard, create everything yourself, and it'll take you step-by-step approach. You could do a quick build, where it's they'll just give you all recommended things, which is usually like a good class for the race you pick is the way they usually go. It's like, oh yeah, oh, you like a dwarf? Dwarfs are usually great at this class or this class, and then you have that class. These stats are the ones you probably want to fill out. And then random is just we did that the other day. That is just literally, it just makes your character as random as possible.
Brandon, did you once walk Colt Cabana through this to create his character?
Who said that?
Hamlet's asking.
Yeah, I did. I walked through this for all the Critical Botch people, and then it started getting. I didn't get through the whole thing. I got their race and class, and then that took us, I want to say, an hour and a half or 2 hours just to get everybody to pick race and class and what they kind of would want. And then I went through and started making their sheets, and then I would just text them separately and be like, hey, your person comes with spells. Here's a list of the spell names, by the spell name, which would you want to have, kind of a thing. And then they would just text me those answers, because I was like, this is just too much. It's going to be very overwhelming for them.
Here's what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, Colt does have that sweet bedroll.
Yeah, that's why he didn't understand what a bedroll was, because he didn't pick all his items. I just did all the default stuff, but...
He thought it was how he got into bed. He just rolled.
Yeah, water skins. All right, so I'll choose the standard one here. This Colt's Bard song. Yeah, he had some great Bard songs. All right, so we'll name the character later. Once we start fleshing them out, this person out, whoever
Brandon
we make.
Cutler's character. What an ass.
That's what it
So
just starts as. Yeah. We'll do chat.
Character.
We'll do chat's character.
No, nobody likes.
Chat's character. All right. We'll name. Maybe that might be one of the last things that we do.
Chatbot.
Yeah, and then they even have a link to look at that fantasy name generators. If you guys have never been to this site, it's an awesome site. Is literally what it says of fantasy name generators. You could choose different drop downs of like real names, and look at this, just dozens of like. You could go real names. You could do fantasy and folklore. So you could get elf names, hobbit names, half elf names,
Supervillain names,
moon rabbit names. Troll names, unicorn names, orc names, bounty hunter names.
I just want troll
yeah.
names.
Great site. If you're having any trouble, you could search. There's tons of categories to search in there.
Oh, I saw Colt say that the other day. It was adorable that Brandon went right over his head.
What? What did he say?
Because he came to your channel and he subbed to you, and so he said, "Oh, does that make me a dom?" And then you didn't understand what he meant.
Oh, I still don't
it
understand.
Was adorable.
What's a dom?
I don't think I don't know if I want to answer you on stream right now.
I'm gonna stand for something. DOM.
You don't know what?
A dom sub? Is there something with the words together? Sub dom?
No.
I don't know. All right.
No. Not in context of actually subbing to your channel.
I don't know. I'm just gonna enjoy this cookie. Yeah, I hear a lady.
Fine. Don't wheel away. Explain it. I don't want to explain it.
Are we going to create our own character,
Yeah,
or just one for chat?
Tip of the iceberg out.
Our person, Brandon, being in charge. I still don't get. Why did he ask? Is he a dom? Is he a dominant person?
He asked if you were the dom because he subbed to you.
Oh, now I get the connection to that. Jeez.
Do you know what it is?
What do you mean?
No.
Yeah, like, no.
Cutler must remain innocent. Protect the
Exactly. All right. So we are going to be making. It's not a character for me. It's going to be a character that chat is. Yeah, I didn't even get to ever explain that. So, guys, this whole thing we're doing, we're going to make a character. You, the chat, is going to be picking everything we do to this character. You guys are going to pick all of its stuff. Its race, its class, everything. Yeah, every time I try and explain this, you've been trying to cut it off. Can you hold on for a second? So, you guys are going to pick every category there is. We'll put up votes. You guys will be able to choose all this. This character is going to be the character you guys play in a D&D game. I will campaign for you guys. I will DM it. This will be an ongoing thing that I plan on doing. I'm going to make it... We've gone off the rails. Yeah, we've gone off the rails plenty of times now. Let's stick to the rails. All right. So that's what the overall thing is here, guys. So everything you guys pick, you're stuck with this. You're going to be stuck with this on all the stuff. So if you choose stuff that's... I don't know if it's necessarily if you're going to choose like less... what is it where you're trying to make everything perfect on the character? What is that called?
Oh, optimized?
Yeah, if you're trying to go for optimal stuff, or if you're suboptimal, if you're trying to go more for role play, you guys are min-maxing. There you go, Brenda Thomas. Yep. Yeah, this is your character, so you guys live with all these decisions.
All your choices are yours.
Yeah. Pick my own journey book. Yep.
So how are you gonna do? Like, did you figure out a way to?
I haven't thought anything through.
Okay.
I've thought literally nothing through. We're gonna figure all this out as I'm going. Hey, thank you, the eyes of a fangirl. Appreciate you subscribing for 5 months. All right, so all this stuff up here, this is the sources, what you want to allow. Like if you've bought Critical Role content and you want to allow that to be in this character, if you've bought some of those books and you're like, ooh, I want to have Critical Role content in here, or there's Rick and Morty content. I don't know what this non-core. Oh, okay, I guess. That's exactly what it is if you don't want to use any of the core. And then if I've made stuff, I could put that in here too, of homebrew content. Any weapons or any classes that I've made, we can have in this character as well. I'll just put all that on. Enables digital dice for this character. Yep, so then this D&D Beyond also has digital dice that you can roll on the app here, on the program. Let's see. Optional features. Allow or restrict optional features for this character. I've never even touched these. I have no idea. I'm just going to leave those alone. Advancement type. This is going to be how your character levels up. So it's based on what your DM's going to do. Of if he's going to be giving you guys XP and keep track of all the things you kill and how much XP they give you. Or if it's just milestone, which is what I always do, of just like, yeah, it feels like you've played enough that you can level up to level 2 now. Or like, yeah, sure, let's just go level 3 because, you guys have been in level 2 for long enough. I like milestone because that's just the way I DM. Of like, I just pick when you guys level up. That's how I did it with Critical Botch. Of like, yeah, we were at that level for long enough. Let's move on to the next level. And then your character gets to get some more perks and what. Hit point type. You could do the fixed or manual, which is going to be when we roll, when we get your stats and stuff is what's going to help decide some of this. And then you can either have the computer do all that for you, or you can manually do the math and figure out what your hit points are. I like fixed because it's the whole reason we use this is I don't want to manually do a lot of this stuff. Prerequisites, same thing of the feats and multi-class requirements of restrict some stuff. So pretty much based on, say if you're like a small person but you want to use heavy armor, but your character can't carry that or something, or you have to have a certain amount of strength to carry it. That's what these are. Stuff like that helps kind of like, give your character, your players something to strive for. Of like, nope, you gotta level up your strength a little more before you can carry that or something. Yeah, math.
Happy anniversary. Happy early birthday, Denim Sting.
Yeah, the encumbrance, this is going to be if you guys want to follow the, like if your character's carrying too much weight or something, they'll be encumbered kind of a thing. Same with this coin weight. If you're going to start carrying a lot of money on you, then it's like, do you want their characters to actually have to worry about how many coins they have? That's a no for me. That just sounds annoying.
Carry it all with you.
Yeah, it's like, come on, let's make it more like a video game where you just have a lot of stuff on you and on your person, but your video game character doesn't have a huge satchel bag. Right. It's just I got to play Assassin's Creed Origin last night, and the guy's just running around with one shield and one weapon, even though I have like 3 weapons in my inventory. Bankable. Yeah. Magic Infinity Bag, which is essentially what D&D makes in the game. Yeah, very good. You have to change out your coins to high denoms. Yeah, it's just that of it makes you have to do chores. More of that.
No one wants chores.
Yeah. Ability. This is how you want your displays. So like you could see either your modifier of either your ability or your modifier being, say, if you're level 20, so then you're going to have a +5 on your strength. Do you want to see that it says level 20, or do you want to just see the +5? I like just seeing the +5 because that's what you're going to be looking at when you're adding onto your character. And then privacy, just make it public for everyone to see.
Wow, I got rid of the all my in that sentence and it was bad. I just want a pocket dimension to hold my junk.
All right, so this is just the setup. This is just like housekeeping of, you don't even really need to do any of this. As you saw, I didn't really change any of this stuff. It's set on the stuff that is most frequently used for players. So like this was just all stuff that, depending on the way your DM wants to play the game, is going to tell you to switch that stuff. So we're not going to switch any of that. So again, when you're creating your character, I almost, for all my characters I've made, I've skipped that first page because it's like it doesn't really matter. Let's just get on to the other. But I'm going to try and explain everything to everybody as we're going. So now we're on choosing a race, and we're going we're going to just go for everything because these are the ones that I've bought. I have the basic rules, which everyone has, which is the classic common D&D kind of characters there. The Dungeons Master Guide, which adds a couple of different versions. So it's like, oh, you can have a different type of an elf. So it's not just elves now. There's subclasses you could be getting. Elemental ones, yeah, same. They give you more different gnomes. Now you have Goliaths.
Elemental evil.
Aarakocras, which are bird people. And then Player's Handbook is, again, just the normal one. And then Tasha's Cauldron. I don't know what this one is. Custom Lineage. I don't know what that is, but we're just going to do all sources. So these are the list of characters that we can pick from, that we'll be able to. Did a couple of these, like, this lizard folk, I think, and the Kenku. This was Rick's character in Critical Botch. This is Doc Martin from Critical Botch, that kind of stuff.
What was the chameleon lizard folk?
Where's that one at?
Top. That's what was throwing me off. That's what I was looking at.
I might have looked at this lizard folk or this other lizard folk for Doc Martin, because I had to go through and grab some of these for it. Like this Myconid, this was my mushroom person, so I don't got pictures for it. But yeah, Tortle, this is JTT's character. So there's a few of them in there. You know what?
I've never seen a mini for that. I'm gonna have to Google art for that.
For which one?
Chameleon lizard folk.
Well, this is somebody's. It's their custom lizard folk they made. They just named it Chameleon. It's not a real one. This is somebody's homebrew one.
Okay, but I actually want to see.
Good luck if that is the thing, yeah. Because this is somebody's homebrew where they gave their lizard folk chameleon abilities.
Well, I just want them to look
just
like
what is it? Yeah, I can't remember.
I just want chameleon folks, okay?
Halfling rogue. So you could pick 2 halves, or if you pick half of something, there's a default to whatever the other half is. On some of them, yes. Like as you see, like the half elf and half orc. It's just already, because those are the ones that they've made. Or like the half elf is half human and half elf, and then this one is half human and half orc. So they have some abilities like humans, and then other abilities like elves, and then they don't have all the abilities that elves or orcs do. So that's the 2 that they did. If we wanted to, I don't really want to do a super custom class of like, oh, let's do like a half gnome and half halfling kind of a thing. Or I don't want to make let's not get too crazy out of the box. Let's pick from the established ones here, or like ones like that we've thought of like, Tabaxi types. Yeah, Genasi's, where these are the elemental people. So you see they got like earth, water, fire, air. This is an elemental person, where you could be a fire person, which is pretty badass. They got different types of elves you could be, but if we go, that's where we'll worry about those of when we get to them.
Do you want to break down, like,
yeah, we could go through some of these.
What even Tabaxi
exactly, yeah. We'll go through some of these. The ones without the little icons, I think we're just going to skip. I wish I could do all.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to go back and get homebrew off. Yeah, let's get homebrew off. So that way we don't have to see some of those. Yeah, okay. Water Genasi was my first character.
Tabaxi's not on here now. Wasn't that just a homebrew one?
Yeah, because I had to do that for somebody.
But isn't Tabaxi a playable race?
It is, but I'm trying to just go the basics right now.
But it's not. Wild one. Well.
If we wanted Tabaxi, we could go Tabaxi. I'll keep that in the
want
list
push
of
buttons.
things. I know, trying to derail this.
No, no.
All right, so we'll go through each of these so you guys could see what all of them are. I'll kind of describe a little bit of each of them for you, and then we will throw up a poll that you guys will be able to see all these, and we'll take a little miniature couple minute break and let everybody get a vote in, which we might have to do a couple polls to break it down. We'll see. All right, so this first one, the Aarakocra. Does it even say what some of them are? Details page. Hey, look at that. Oh, let's play it.
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra, okay.
Hey.
Hey-o. But yeah, they're pretty much, as you see here, it's a bird person. This is
That ain't no Rick.
yeah, it's not Rick. I was gonna do this to build his character, but he wanted to have it more of like a raven person or whatnot. America, yeah. But yeah, it's essentially that they could do. That's the overall look of your person. I'm gonna come down here to some traits because this will be how it affects your character now. You got a better dexterity, wisdom is decent, maturity and can't usually don't usually live longer than 30 years. So that's stuff to keep in mind when you're creating a character and you're like, oh, what age should he be? It's like
42. No, he's good and dead.
yeah, no, yeah, about hitting their 20s that's gonna be old for these bird people.
Unless he's got some cool backstory, like how'd you make it to 50?
Yeah,
I've got
stuff
some
like
magical
that.
items sustaining me.
So now you can see Matt Mercer appeared on stream. Yeah, there you go. Since him and Marisha voice all the voicings. So they're about 5 feet tall, between 80 and 100 pounds, stuff like that. Base walk speed, the common is 25 feet. As you'll see, most of them, they walk about the same. Flying, though, these things can fly, and they have talons that you can use as a weapon. And then languages, they speak common, which is they use that as like whatever dialect you have. If you're playing with a bunch of Spanish-speaking people, then the Spanish is the common. It's just the common. It could be English, could be whatever language. They did that now. They just put common instead of like an actual language. And then they know Aarakocra and they know Auron. So it's like, hey, you get some languages right out of the gate too that you can do, because that's a thing DMs will usually do is give you clues but have them deciphered in other races' languages. Hey, thanks for the happy birthday wishes, people. New book makes 30 feet of minimum movement speed for races. Ooh, okay. So yeah, that's the overall, the bird person. Well, I think I don't know what that custom lineage is. Dragonborns are fun, because these are people that are pretty much half dragon, half human. Not necessarily that they are half and half. It's more they are bred from dragons and whatnot. I'm gonna do something. Show it. There you go. Just like Brandon, yeah. The dragon bread.
Focus.
Oh, you gotta probably cover my face with it. There you go.
It is your face.
Yeah. Look at that. Custom.
Oh,
What the heck is going on? Is it because it's hot? Where was it? Were you?
You had it sitting back there. I did nothing. None of this was me.
You want to get a tissue?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where to sit this.
Well, how'd that get hot?
I don't.
That thing started just dripping, guys. My little
Well.
Right here, put it on the plate then.
Yeah. Be right back, because I can't.
What the heck happened to that?
But why is it like?
Why did it start
is
dripping?
It a certain glue that they? I don't understand what's happening there. Now my hands are gooey. I'll be right back.
Wonder what happened there.
Yeah, I don't.
Wonder if it's just because it is kind of hot. Maybe turn on the AC. The mini started dripping. I think it started melting. So yeah, this is pretty much the dragon kind. Essentially, you don't need to know all these things for all the classes. We won't go through. But this is a cool thing about the dragons is you could choose pretty much what color dragon you want. And then depending on that, they do different types of damages. Eldritch Blast, yeah. So like if you want to have a silver or white dragonborn dude, he does some cold damage. He breathes some frost breath. Instead of how like a red dragon, classic red dragons breathe fire, a green dragon breathes poison out of its mouth. That's the cool stuff. That's what I started really falling in love with dragons on D&D. All right, and then the next up is classic good old dwarfs. As you see, they have a couple of different ones of mountain dwarfs and hill dwarfs. So the dwarfs, let's see, let's go to detail page here. Dwarfs are what you would think, usually small in stature, a little bit shorter, but they are usually heavily armored, and as you see, you have some kind of a mace or mallet or something like that. Doesn't have to be the case. That's where you can make a dwarf however you want, but that's like the classic, representation of a dwarf. Let's see, some stuff like that, if they can have some sub races, so you could get into different versions of dwarfs, and then they get different things like that. Like dwarfs have dark vision, where you can see in dim situations, so you don't necessarily need a torch when you're going into dark areas. That's a nice thing of like dwarf things. Stone cutting type stuff, because they are like classically from digging in mines and whatnot. They could tell abnormalities in rock and things like that. Let's see. Next up, we got classic good old elves. We'll go like a wood elf for the example. Detail page. As you see, the very usually tall, slim, slender, gorgeous looking peoples of the elves. Yeah, boo elves. Where they'll have things, depending again on your sub race that you pick, they'll have some different abilities. Their speed, as you see, is a little bit faster than others. Keen senses, yeah, they usually are great at perception type stuff, seeing, as Legolas was, which is why it's like, oh, it's good to have them as archers because they have great vision and great eyes. I want a shorter elf with a beer gut, which we could make if we want. Stuff like that, yeah. A full elf doesn't have to actually sleep. It only has to be in a trance for 4 hours a day. So then this is easier if you're planning on doing a lot of like dungeon diving where you can't rest a lot, and it's like, I only need to get 4 hours of sleep, and you get a full rest and all your abilities back. Terrible death perception. Classic elves. And then let's see here, it's going up to the Genasi's, which is as I saw, the elemental type people, where there's all the 4 different elements, which they all look pretty cool. I like to just see kind of the image that they're going to show for everyone. This one's a fire Genasi, where it's a person it's a humanoid that looks like they're just straight up made of fire. I like that kind of stuff. I've never played any of these, so I wouldn't know too much on like their little abilities and things like that, but that would be a lot of fun. I've seen this stuff. So okay, here, some air Genasis. They're a little bit more dexterous. They can hold their breath indefinitely for air Genasi, which makes sense. You're made of air. And then they can cast levitate on themselves. So something like that of, oh, I want to be an air person. You just get some perks for being an air person. Hit the pronunciation on Genasi. Okay, let's see what it says.
Genasi.
Genasi. Look at that. I was saying it. Scourge of the North. Neltolth. Thank you for subscribing. 5 months. All right, let's take a peek. Good old gnome. Let's do a good old forest gnome here. You did it. It's a birthday miracle. Yeah, boss defeated. Wow. Here.
Gnome.
There you go. Gnomes. Much like halflings, which is like the hobbits are kind of the halflings in Lord of the Rings, gnomes are another version of the shorter folk, but they live, look at this, they can live up to 350 to 500 years old, and they're between 3 and 4 feet tall. But the things with like gnomes is they're a little more cunning than dwarves or halflings. As you see, you get advantage on all 3 of these things. Oh, against magic. So anytime magic is used on you in any 3 of these categories, that means you get to roll the dice twice and take the higher of those 2 rolls. That's just some gnomes, man. They got some gnome cunning. And they also have, superior dark vision. They could see further. They could see twice as far as dwarves in the dark. And stone camouflage. Look at that. Dexterity stealth checks to hide in rocky terrain. Yeah, so gnomes got a lot of, that's a deep gnome. And then forest gnomes. Ooh, look at that. to get a spell just at your disposal. A lot of good stuff there. All right. We got that Forest Gnome. And then we got Goliath, which is huge. Huge, folks. What are these folks at? Look at this guy. I want to say they're probably 8 feet, somewhere between 7 to 8 feet. Let's see. Size, yeah, 7 to 8 feet tall. Look at that. Huge, huge people. That's what Goliaths are, is if you want to pick a massive person, which again, of like, oh, normal class would be like a barbarian, right? You're a massive beast, dude. Like, I'd love to see a Goliath spell casting. Like, just in the back, just shooting spells at 7 feet. Barbarian dwarf. I did not like it. Aw. Alright, so there's the Goliath. Huge person. Half elf, as you saw. Half person, half elf. So they get some good things from humans and some good things from elves. Like they get the dark vision from elves. Little fey ancestry, so they can't be charmed. Stuff like that. But then humans have the skill versatility, where you get to just choose 2 skills of your choice, and you gain proficiency in it. That's kind of a humanoid trait. So stuff like that. And then their ears aren't as pointy as an elf, so they can be kind of hiding which way they want to go there, if they want to look more human or more elfish. And then let's go half orcs. These are human and orc combo, where they have a lot more like kind of strength. Yeah, they got the dark vision. They got the menacing, where you gain intimidation skills. The relentless endurance is this is what Colt's character would get a lot, where we'd call it the Undertaker sit-up, or the the Abaddon sit-up. When you're reduced to 0 hit points but not killed, you could instead drop to 1 hit point, and you can use this feature again. So it's as soon as you get all your health drains, you pop back up to 1 health point. So that's how Colt's character would constantly get hit all the way down to 0. He'd lay flat on his back and then pop back up, sit up like Undertaker with 1 hit point. Because he's not completely down. He's not out of all of his health. He's got relentless endurance. Half Orkington, or Orc Halfington. Dead orc walking. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. All right, halflings. We'll go Lightfoot for the overall. But yeah, halflings are kind of like the gnomes and the hobbits in the Lord of the Rings style. Small and practical types. But these are a little more, let's see, explorers. Let's see some of their traits they got. Yeah, they give you even sample names, too, on some of these. That'll be Finnan. That'll be a halfling named Finnan. I picked Tasha Yaga. Yeah, so, this is a halfling ability, is Lucky. When you roll a 1 on the d20, so when you roll a critical botch, you can re-roll the die, but you must use the new roll. So anytime your character rolls a 1, essentially, you can always roll again, and you must take the new roll. That's a halfling ability. You got some halfling luck that you got on your side, where it almost stops you from ever rolling a 1, which I don't necessarily like, because I love a good old critical botch, as we see. But yeah, that would be a trait you get. Brave, advantage on saving throws from being frightened. So that means they don't necessarily get frightened easy. And then you can move through space. That is a creature that is a size larger than yours. So it makes it easier to get through. Like, pretty much you can run in between the legs of other creatures. All right, and then I think we're almost through them. Yeah, we got a couple more. Human. Classic old human. It would be like, what do we want to play human for?
Human.
I just got to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. We're in a fantasy thing, but humans are great because they are, as I said, variety in all things. These are all the different races you could pick of humans, pretty much. But yeah, they have human traits, ability scores. Where's the thing? Oh, okay, this is the what's this? Oh, house. Oh, wow, you can get some magic and stuff. So they have more of like that of depending on which way you want to go, they can mend to your class a lot easier. Of as you saw, like, oh, I want to make a Goliath, but I want to do a sorcerer. You might have some stuff where it's like, oh, you can't really min max and make your character as great as you wanted it to be. Humans are a little on that side where it's like, oh, you want to try and make a character as perfect as can be. Human has a lot of flexibility. You can pick and mold stuff that'll go here. It has just traits where it's like, oh, pick anything instead of just, oh, your dexterity goes up 1. It's more like, no, human could just pick anything +1. So that's where they're a little OP'd, but a little like, well, that's the reason you'd want to pick them when you're in a fantasy game. Of like, well, I want to have a character that can do some stuff, so I guess I won't be a fantasy character, but I'll enjoy all the roles I do or something. All right, and then we got a couple more here. Variant Aasimar. I don't know that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But Tiefling. Tiefling are essentially from hell, or as you see, Devil's Child. They got it's kind of like Nightcrawler. They have a little tail. They got little horns. And then they are usually either bluish, reddish, purplish, pinkish. That's kind of how they are. Little half devils, demons. Yeah, they look badass though. Tieflings are awesome, but then they also get some cool stuff that comes with it from having all that stuff where you look like you're straight up out of what's that movie with the Hells dude? He's got one big fist. I don't remember his name. But yeah, they have hellish resistance, which is you have resistance to fire damage because you're from hell. Hellboy. Oh, there you go. Yep, Hellboy. And then you also get a couple of spells you get to cast right out of the gate because you're from hell, like Hellish Rebuke, which means if anyone hits you physically, you just deal some fire damage to them. He was big hand guy. Yeah, big hell hand. His hell hand, right? Yeah, so, and then all of these you can mold a little more and make them your own. This isn't like, end all. Like, let's Google some, I'm going to Google some art on tieflings so you guys could see how much different range all of these things could have. So you don't feel like you're being, let's see, tiefling art. Like, look at that. This is just people's art on, this is what a tiefling could look like. Like, immediately my eyes see this dude, he looks badass, that kind of stuff. But yeah, look at, oh, that's a classic Critical Role type. But yeah, tons of different ways you can go with making your person. And then like I'll do another one. Let's do like gnome. I don't know what I'm gonna find on some of these. Oh, yep, I guess that's let's do like gnome D&D art. So then you can see a little more of this is how people made their gnomes, which is like real cute type stuff. I love, this is a great way to also draw inspiration if you're having trouble figuring out what kind of a character you want to make. It'd be like, oh, this person looks great. I love a little gnome in leaf armor and has a little crossbow kind of a thing. Like, oh, that's cool. I want to try and make a character that's kind of like that. So I'll pick like a gnome and I'll pick a ranger or something. Yeah, real cool ways. Just always searching the internet. Xenomorph race. I'm not looking it up, villain. All right, so we'll put these up in a poll. Let's see what our race is gonna be. I gotta look up on that. Where was it? Somebody gave me a link. It was in the mod chat. Yeah, there it is. Up to 30 options. Thank you. Wait, creating a poll. I wish I would have taken notes on all the races you just said. Oh, no worries. I'll go through a little bit. I'm good just in time for the poll. Yeah. All right, let me try and make a poll here. Here's D&D. All right, so this is a Nightbot to make a poll. Make a poll. Poll command allows you to straw poll. Okay, here we go. Type a question here. Enter poll option. I wonder if I keep going on these. All right, so let's do, I'm not even gonna try and just type that, I'll just copy and paste. No! Hey, Aaron. What was that? AAC. KOC. Okay, heyo. Alright, and then after that. Then we got Dragonborn, Dwarf, Elf. Ah, didn't write Elf correctly. Genasi, Gnome, Goliath. Then half elf, half orc, halfling. Human and tiefling. And then if we get any of these subcategories afterward, like say if we picked gnome, we'll go through and get the other ones. All right, there we go. Which race? I don't know what any. Sure, I'll allow multiple poll answers. No. All right, let's create the poll. Da-da-da-da. I'm not a robot. All right, and share. Look at that. I'll copy that URL, put that in the chat for you guys. Bam, there you go. Go ahead and go vote. I'll give us a couple minutes here, and if you guys need in the chat, I'll keep an eye on the chat. If you want any of these re-explained again, I'll head over here and we can kind of dive into any of these. Hey, Aaron. Loving these birthday cookies. These cookies. Everybody voting, or are you guys still like, you guys thinking about it? Which race? Now, this is your guys' character. Which race do you think would be fun? Vote counted. There you go. I voted, but it hasn't updated the results just yet. Okay. Vote is in. There we go. All right. Yep, just the tip of the. Okay, we still got a couple of things to go through. Description and equipment aren't really going to be really anything at the moment. It's pretty much these three things are the three building blocks to making a character. Hey, thanks, Trill. I gotta tell Nightbot the news. Freaking AI that learns. What are we doing? Is everyone good on, I mean, even if you don't understand them, you can even just vote and just be like, yeah, this looks like chaos. I'll pick Goliath just because that'd be fun to make chat. Be a Goliath. Voted but saying 0 results? Really? All right, I'll do a vote. I'll just put human because I feel like that's the least likely to do it, and I'll just see what happens. Yeah, why is a bunch of 0 votes? Huh. Checking and said my vote has been counted, huh? Put that link up again. Didn't show results. Let's see, I'll click it again, see what happens when I see these 0, 0, 0, 0. Even my human didn't get a vote. Let's vote. Which race? Results. Maybe this isn't the best place to do one. Same here, me too. What happened? I don't get it. Maybe it just doesn't like us. Maybe it's not a good poll thing. Let's see. I demand a recount. After he typed all that out, yeah. Man, that's a shame. Alright, let's just look up, let's look up start a poll. Free poll tool. Let's see if this is a, whoopsie, no, not the ads. First one after ad. Poll maker. Alright. Come on. Now can I just copy some of these? Man, am I gonna have to do it again? Alright, well, let's hope I could do more than just what they got here, too. Was this gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Alright, let's see. Dwarf, Elf, Genasi. Oopsie. Ah. Will keep giving me more. Genasi, Gnome, Goliath, Half Elf. Man, I feel bad if you guys voted and it didn't get you human tiefling. Alright, let's see if this one will do it now. Create the poll. Copy the link. Copy, pasting, boom. Poll maker created in seconds. Share, alright. Now we can view it too. Alright, there we go. Share embed. That one's working. Alright, we'll use this site then. We'll use this site. Hey, it works. Sweet, alright. Cool, and then I'll just click one randomly and hit vote. The Aarakocra, that is the bird peoples. That description, bird people. Posted some art in the first D&D character in the tabletop channel. Hey, awesome. If you guys need, this is our Discord, so you could see the channels they are talking about.
Fly, my pretties, fly, fly!
Oh my god, yeah, you guys can make a bird person or a slash seagull person. Fly, my pretties, fly. Alright, I'll give you guys a few more seconds and then I'll click in here so I can see the results. Sam the Eagle from Muppets is in the margins of my notes. I love it. Plan for BT so he shows character creation. Yeah, this is going to be a 50+ segment that we'll do. Making a D&D character. First, pick your race. Oh, man. I didn't think it was Eagle person. I wasted my vote.
Brandon Cutler, you can go to hell.
Hey, Tony Schiavone.
Straight to hell.
On my birthday? What the hell? Anonymous played it too. Kept yourself anonymous. Oh, man. Alright. And I'll do, like I said before, I'll just pick human because I feel like it's least likely. Hey, wow. Nobody wants halfling or dwarfs against the short people, huh? But gnomes are up there. Gnomes and Goliaths are 16 and 16. Tiefling takes it with 28%, though. I like it. Let's show the count. How many was that? All right, 7. 7 people got it. Gnomes and Goliaths were in second. I like the percentages. That's pretty fun to see. My My lights just cut out when Tony Clip played. I wonder if it's because you played it, Blaze. Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, the Demon Children. Looks like we're making a Tiefling for this character. What's next? Response timelines. Oh, nice. How quick. What is the response pie chart? I love it. We can look at this. Oh man, Tiefling, gnomes, Goliaths. I like it. We get a pie chart with this. And then some comments. And then next, share this poll. All right, back. Oh no. Okay. How do we just delete the poll now? I'll just get rid of it. There we go. Share, share, share. Poll. All right. How do I just delete all this stuff now? Actually, I should probably just start a new one, huh? Let's go back to poll maker. There we go. All right, now I'll always have a new one. Okay, so we're going Tiefling. Such a dramatic poll. Oh yeah, sweet. I like it. Tieflings. All right, so this one. Oh, right here in this little quick thing, it shows you essentially what you're getting. You're getting Dark Vision, Hellish Resistance, and Infernal Legacies. So Dark Vision, thanks to your Infernal heritage, you'll have superior vision in dark and dim conditions. You can see dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, pretty much as if it were like day. You're not like squinting and being like, it's so dark in here. You lived in the dark. You were born in the darkness. You can't discern color in the darkness, only shades of gray, 50 shades of gray. And then Hellish Resistance, you are resistant to fire damage. That means any damage you take from fire, it is in half. So say if a fire-breathing dragon breathes fire on you and does 30 points of damage, you only take 15 points of damage because you are resistant to it. You're a firefighter. And then you got the Infernal Legacy. You know the Thaumaturgy cantrip, which when you reach 3rd level, you can cast Hellish Rebuke. Spell at the 2nd level once. This trait has regained the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. All jibber jabber on the rules on when and you can and can't do it. But essentially, I'll show those as we get to those because they'll have the description next to it of these things that you get, the Thaumaturgy and all that stuff. But all right, we got ourselves a Tiefling. Yeah, night vision. You got fighter. All right, now the fun stuff, the flavor. Even though that, I mean, you did get to choose what flavor of the race you want to be with as a Tiefling, but this is going to be the flavor of how do you want to fight? How do you want to fight, and also how do you want to role play? It comes into these two. Yeah, the seasoning. Yes, Blaze, I'm saying the seasoning. Yeah, with guns. Essentially is like, do you want to fight, like what weapon kind of ideally is you want to keep in mind here of what do you want to use when you're in a battle, say something ugly and some monster gets in front of you. What do you want your character to do? Do you want it to hit it with some things with like axes or clubs or daggers or swords? Do you want to be a cool fighter? Do you want to have two quick knives? Do you want to be able to go hide and then pop out and sneak attack it type stuff? Role-playing wise, do you want to be able to talk to people openly? Do you want to be like a cleric or a paladin type where you have a religion that you're following? Do you want to be like a monk style where you just know like great hand-to-hand type of things? Your weapons are you. You don't need to have other weapons. That kind of stuff. Do you want to cast spells? Which is a lot with the Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard down here, and Cleric. A lot of these other classes do have spells in it, but these ones are the ones where it's mainly that's what you do. You just cast spells, which is also role-playing of do you want to be able to manipulate people's minds? Do you want to make them do things for you? Do you want to have them say things for you? Do you want to take over somebody and make them your like butler or whatever the heck? This Blood Hunter special. So Blood Hunter, yeah, it's a critical role one. Let's see if it's overview here. Willing to suffer whatever it takes to achieve victory. Yeah, let's see. Hunter's Bane. Forever honing your senses against it. You have advantage on survival checks. So that kind of stuff. Seems like it's a hunter class, but it's probably just A little more of like a Matthew Mercer's version of a ranger, I would assume. What's a rogue do? So yeah, we'll go through each of these a little bit differently. Rogue is kind of the ones where you hide out and disguise yourself from being seen and whatnot. That's more of like if you want to role play, essentially kind of Assassin's Creed games, is like where you want to just be able to blend into things, hide, from a guard or something. If you're in a guard tower, you'd be like, ooh, I'm just gonna hide in this barrel or something real quick. Yeah, sneaky, stab from behind type stuff. Do a lot of damage if you use them in the way they're supposed to be played. Rogue, here's the X-Men music. Dun dun dun. Where is it? Where's my X-Men music? All right. Let's peek at Artificer. Yeah. This one is the Masters of Invention. Artificers is pretty much steampunk. Artificers use ingenuity and magic to unlock extraordinary capabilities in objects. So it's imagine steampunk kind of stuff, but you could also imbue them with magic and make it come alive. Let's see, yeah, magical tinkering. This is like the fun flavoring they got here. You spark the magic into mundane objects. Use this ability, you must have thieves' tools. So you're kind of good at tools and also good with magic type stuff. Give one of the following magical properties of your choice. The object sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius, so you can do essentially you create a little object and look, it's a little light or something. You can make a little wind-up doll and it can go walk and then turn on and off or something. That could be great. Gambit, yeah, there you go. It could even be Gambit of just throw light up cards at things. Whenever trapped by a key, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. This is stuff where it's great role-playing type stuff. You can use this not even necessarily in battles, but this will be when you find yourself in some, like, ooh, I want to lure that guard over here. I'm going to have, like a gambit. I'm going to throw a card, and then it lights up. What guard wouldn't go look at that thing? And then now you could go run by him or something. Stuff like that, depending on how you want to play your character. Let's see, some spell casting stuff, it looks like. Cantrips, yeah, some artificer spells, preparing and casting spells. This is all just the mechanics on how you would be doing all that stuff of when and when you can't use your magic. Yeah, and then this is all the math you would have to do if we weren't using this app. Yeah, infuse an item. Oh yeah, man, this is a lot. That's cool. But yeah, that's essentially what an artificer is magical steampunk. Inventions continuously blowing things up. Yeah, essentially, that's what you can kind of do, and it's magic. So you don't even got to be like, oh, I got to get a bunch of a gunpowder barrel to make something blow up. It's D&D age and whatnot. It's medieval age. It's magic. You can make it blow up from magic. Artificers are, yeah, it's a lot. But that's essentially what it is. It's mechanics and magic. It's M&M. All right, barbarians. That's exactly what you think they would be based on having an axe for an image. They want to fight physically with whatever their weapon is, their weapon of choice. You don't necessarily have to make it an axe. You can make it whatever crazy object you want. But yes, they have like a rage, which means you have advantage on some checks, which it pretty much means you're more likely to hit every time you're swinging your weapon. That kind of stuff. And then also when you take damage, you will take less damage than before, than other people. That's essentially the perks of Barbarian is you want to hit things with your stuff, you're likely to hit. And then if you get hit, you're likely to take less damage, which is, yeah, Rick. Yeah, he rages out a lot. He likes to hit things. He usually does hit things when he swings at them. That kind of stuff. Bards, those, if you watch Witcher, if you watch Witcher, you see with the little instrument there, they are usually based pretty much on charisma. They are the ones that are the singers, the town criers type. They're the ones that use their voice. Jessica, yeah, there you go. They use spells and whatnot, but they use it, especially this is Colt's character as a bard, is they use spells, but it's like, all right, well, your spell. It's not like you just read a little like spell note and then it happens or something. Bards are more like, oh, do you sing it? Do you play a little note and then that's how your spell gets released? Like that's kind of the flavor that they use their spells, and it's fun too. They got bards can get stuff. Hey, thanks for the raid. Bards can get spells from other classes. Like they could steal spells from the sorcerer, the warlocks, the wizard type things. So they are very overpowered in that way, of that they have access to a lot of different types of spells where it's like, oh no, I can only do what wizards have in their spell list. It's like, no, bards usually get to be like, oh, I've seen the whole world. I always talk about the world. I tell stories. I know what wizards and sorcerers do. Highly customizable, yes. That's a great way to say it, Blaze. Ultimate entertainers, yeah. Toss a coin to your Witcher. We'll skip Blood Hunter. I shouldn't have put Critical Role stuff in there because I've never really actually dived into it. I wouldn't know what that one actually is. The Cleric. So this one, there's a little bit that you get tied up in with this one of being that it's a champion who wields divine magic in service of a higher power. So that one you have to choose a god or deity that your character like believes in or like as a follower in, that kind of a thing. Yeah, choose a domain. And then depending on the type that you want to build, you don't have to be, I know everybody thinks like, oh, I got to believe in a god. That means I got to be a good person. No, there's evil gods, or there's just gods that are neutral, like a knowledge god or something. There's a lot that goes with it. Yeah, battle priest, where you could fight. It's not necessarily, oh, I have to be a cleric. I'm going to be the one healing, and I believe in like making the world a better place. It's like, no, there's clerics that are the death domain, that they just want to kill everyone, and then they serve an evil god that wants to just kill and kill and kill. So it depends on the flavor. Yeah, trickster gods. Yep, trickery, where you could be. That's what in the show Critical Role, Jester is. She's a cleric of a trickster god, where she just pulls pranks on people a lot, and she has a lot of spells that aid in that, where it's just a lot of like illusions that you could do, or messing with people's minds, that kind of stuff, where it's just pretty much, yeah, you could be a nature person, where it's, you know, kind of like a druid slash, you know, it's all kind of depending on which way you want to flavor the guy. Just because we pick certain character classes does not mean we need to be good guys. Yeah, exactly. Alignment will come later. I see as alignment is kind of the choices you make as you're playing. Yeah, I don't necessarily think everyone knows what they're going to do when they're picking their person at first. Yeah, destroy undead, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so clerics, I know that it's the usual is to think, oh, it's the person that's going to be the good in the group. I don't know, the cleric could be the badass leather jacket person. All right, and then the next we got druid, which is a nature type person. Powers of nature and adopting animal forms, which is badass. I've seen druids, once they level up, become the most powerful character in the group, because they could change into this wild shape. They could change into another beast, fight an entire battle as that beast, and then once they lose all the health points of that beast, they go back to their normal shape of being the whatever they might be. Being that you're a tiefling, you'd go back to being a tiefling, and then now you could go back to what other spells you want to do. So it's like one spell could almost last an entire battle if you turn into, like, say, the right beast. But you got to keep leveling up. Yeah, as you see in second level, you can only do stuff that's like, yeah, no flying or swimming, something like a wolf. As you level up more and more, you could do like, oh, bigger things like crocodiles, but still can't fly. And then when you get into like 8th, you could do big things. And like, yeah, I saw someone that got up to level 20, the Critical Role, which Keyleth got up to that. And they were turning into dragons and things like that, where it's like, oh yeah, I'll just turn into a dragon and then I can fight an entire battle and then never have to even do any other spell. I'll just do this one thing and it'll last me. And she was Druish, yeah. You're still a Druish, risking a Druish princess? Can we be a Tarask? If you level up high enough, I don't know if we'll get there, villain. I don't know if we'll play enough games to do that. Yeah, druids are pretty badass as far as that. But it's fun when you start leveling up, because then, you see in those categories, you can think of a dozen things. You could turn into an ant and then go get into inside of a building that you wouldn't normally be able to. Get past some guards because it's like, oh, I just turned into an ant and went in there, and then shapeshift back, and then now I'm inside. It's all up to you. It's how you want to play it, how you want to role play, how you want to fight your battles. It's your flavor. Fighter. This person is kind of like the barbarian, but a different version of fighting with like weapons and whatnot. They have different types of fighting styles. Second wind, where you'll be able to heal yourself a little bit better. Action surge, where you could take essentially a second turn while you're doing some stuff. But yeah, extra attack, same thing. They have something like that where you could choose. I want to see the fighting style one. Dang it. But yeah, you could kind of choose. Depending if you want to do like one, like be a little like rapier, if you fight with one dominant hand. If you want to fight with two hands, if you want to fight with magic, they also have a section where you could choose to have a couple of magical spells that you can cast and use on your weapons as you're fighting. So that's kind of like a little combination of physically fighting, but also magic. And then they could go either way of which type of fighter do you want to be. Monk. These dudes are their weapon. Fighter, MMA, barbarian, street fighter. Yeah, there you go. And then where would you put villain? Where would you put a monk in there? Yeah, monks they have no weapons. They can use their fists and do as much damage as someone that is using a weapon. And then they could do eventually. I know one of their abilities is once you level up enough, you could just kill someone with one punch. They know kung fu, martial artists, yeah. They can use ki, which is kind of like using magical abilities, where you could do a flurry of blows, which is doing a ton of punches at once, as you see like the E-Honda, that kind of stuff. Patient defense, which is you just make yourself even harder to hit, or like a step of the wind, I think, where it's you essentially do almost like a second attack on people. Oh, disengage or dash. Okay, that means you could just move quicker. You can get out of town quicker. I can punch ghosts, Bo. Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff like that. Paladins. I built a paladin for a one-shot one time, and I felt like he was overall around balanced in every way that I was like, I could fight people physically, I can cast spells, I can heal myself, I could get myself out of any situation. I don't need to rely on anyone else in the party. I felt as being a paladin. I'm like, I can do almost everything. That's what I did like about paladins. But they are here. This is where they get a little of the role-playing flavor. A holy warrior bound to a sacred oath. So again, just like a cleric. I remember you said to use paladin. Sorry. Just like a cleric, they're bound to something, but it's a sacred oath. It's as open as that is, whatever you want it to be. You can make it an evil paladin, a neutral type paladin, a holier than thou type paladin. You can make it whatever, but he's bound to something. That's what he's like kind of trying to get through. He can lay on hands, which means pretty much that if he lays his hands on something, he can heal it. He can heal himself. He can heal other people. He has a little pool of healing power. He has his own little hit points pool that he can use to heal some stuff. His fighting style, that's where he could physically fight, but he also has some spell casting in case you want to get a little fun and be like, I'll just hit him with a quick zap or something. Darth Vader paladin, yeah. Part of the common man. Yeah, cool stuff. Divine Smite, you can add a little bit more oomph to your, say if you got like an axe or something, you can be like, I'm going to Divine Smite. You add a little extra zest to your hits. Stuff like that. Yeah, there's a Sacred Oath. Binds you as a paladin forever. That kind of a thing. So once you get to 3rd level, that's when you're just like, okay, I'm going to choose what my oath is at that point. Super fun. Radiant damage. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Real cool. I dug being a paladin. I didn't really regret anything when I got to be them. Ranger! This is kind of like the Legolas type of a person. If you're thinking of like, oh, I'll be cool from afar, from a range. If you want to be doing things with like bows and arrows or small like daggers, small swords, things like that. And also, as it has a little paw print here, you're good with animals and nature and finding stuff or tracking things. This is kind of that type of a person. Yeah, Leva's character, exactly. Rangers, ay, 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 ay. If you're Oath of Conquest Paladin, you're basically Judge Dredd. See, there you go. That's a good example villain. Judge Dredd is an oath, but it's like, doesn't mean he's not a badass. I am the law. Yeah, you could go around carrying out the law to people as you see fit. Isn't Aragorn the Ranger? Yeah. Essentially, Aragorn's the Ranger. You are correct there. I just saw it as Legolas is also kind of Ranger-ish. They could both have a couple of different stats there, but yeah, Aragorn's the one that's tracking. He's the one picking up dirt and all that, tracking people and whatnot. But yeah, that's for the nature explorer, that kind of stuff. Fighting style, it's essentially just dex-based, so it's going to be shooting type things or light weapons. You can have, again, like I said, a smaller sword and be quick with it. Primeval awareness, that kind of stuff. They're both arcane archers. Yeah. All right. Then we got the rogue. This is one that everybody tends to love because it's the hide and stab type of a strategy. It's the Batman strategy. You could get yourself to hide behind a lot of stuff. So like I said, if you use this character the way they're supposed to be built, you'll do tons of damage. Yeah, expertise type things of whatever you're good at, you're super good at is essentially what that means. Is like you're not just like jack of all trades. You're the ace of the things that you do. You're not like proficient in a lot, but the things you're proficient in, you're almost like never gonna miss on them. Kind of like that. Sneak attack, that's the thing that this is Copper, yeah, good old Copper. Orange Cassidy's character. Sneak attack is essentially the way you want to use this person is hide, and then if you pounce on someone that doesn't know you're about to pounce on them, you get advantage on it, and you do a lot of extra damage on that. So it's like you're gonna hit them, and you're gonna do a lot of damage. That's a lot of stuff they can do on that. Uncanny dodge, you can get out of taking a lot of the damage too. Yeah, slitting throats. Essentially, that's what it is you're playing Assassin's Creed and you're trying not to get caught. Is the version of the game you want to do. Arcane Trickster or Assassin. Yeah, Arcane Trickster is if you want to have a little bit of magical abilities, and then again, you could trick people, being, that you want to be a sneaky. I wish I could play this for real, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to be walking you guys through whatever this character is that we make. You guys are going to be playing this through some stuff. I'm going to DM you guys through things on other streams. But yeah, I'm like, every time I explain one of these, I'm like, man, I want to play a video game and be one of those characters. All right. And then we're going to go into the three main spellcasting ones down here. The Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. The overall difference of them all, so they all cast spells. Cleric is heavily casting spells as well, but these are the three that are like, ooh, I want to be Ganondorf, or I want to be Gandalf, or I want to be Ganondorf. Why did I say Ganondorf? Like, I want to be Harry Potter. These are the three differences. So a sorcerer, your magic is within you. You were born with it, or you found some object that now imbued the magic into you. But it's in you. You don't got to do anything. It's like X-Men type of a thing of now, like, you got mutant gin in you, and you can just cast stuff. And then you slowly just learn to get better and better at it. Kind of like Magneto style of like, oh, I don't just control metal. I'm the best at controlling metal. Warlock is you made a pact with some... kind of like a paladin or cleric type, but this is more a little like you made a pact with some kind of a demon or beast or something. Not necessarily a demon, but like a deity or a god, and they are giving you your power. But kind of like an Ulash, if you're familiar with the Critical Watch stuff. But they give you your power, and so you're pretty much their servant. It's essentially a pyramid scheme. That, oh, hey, you want to get more people to join my thing, kind of a thing. Eldritch entities whipping boy or girl, yeah. So, yeah, the chaos magic type stuff, that's the difference in the Warlock of the way they have their spells, but it's like you only have them because something is giving you those spells. And then a Wizard, You're a wizard, Harry. Is that classic? You went to school, much like Harry Potter, you're a wizard. You went to school, all your stuff is in books, all of your spells, you have to read them. You aren't Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch would be a sorcerer, I would say. But yeah, wizard is everything you do. You have to carry around a spell book with you. There are some spells that you just know, but then there's some that it's like, oh, I can only cast these because I have the spell here. I have to like read it. So you have to verbally say it out loud to cast a spell to attack a creature. That's kind of the wizard's version of it. So those are the three main types of different things on these. And then they all have their different types of spells that they can do too. There's a lot of overlapping spells between the three of them, but those are the differences of like Warlock. You get a couple of spells, but then you get just different flavors on just kind of like the Paladin of how you can dress those spells up. Kind of like the Eldritch invocations. Yeah. The Eldritch Blast is essentially what you get to constantly shoot. It's a little magic missile that you got, a little magic shot. But then you can put some more oomph on it, and then depending on which entity you're going with, that's where you get more variety as you keep leveling up and whatnot. Born with it, bargained for it, or studied it. Dang, villains just over here explaining everything way better than me. Yep. That's essentially those three. Eldritch Blast. Sounds like a punk band, yeah. Thanks, guys. We are Eldritch Blast. That's how you do magic uses. Yeah. Yeah, and they're squishy. Essentially, yeah, they don't got a lot of HP because they are meant to be ranged and back in the back of the fight while your monks and fighters and barbarians are up there on the front taking stuff. Paladins, they're up there taking the hits while you're in the back shooting shooting your magic. You're doing great. Birthday, man. Thanks, Blaze. The Hexable Warlock is pretty cool. Yeah. Hexblade. Yeah, because then you can fight up close. That's true. Yes, very great. Many notes. Yeah. Well, I hope you're not taking notes on all of them. You're only going to really need to know the one that we kind of pick, and then from there you can. I guess it's nice to take notes if you are thinking of like overall D&D. You got to kind of know a little bit of all of them. Yeah, it's just like learning all the X-Men and all their powers. Like Jean Grey, all powerful but one tap, and she's out for the count. Yeah, she does something, and then she always faints. In the X-Men cartoon, she was always fainting. Taking notes on it's just me a lot too. Hell yeah, Miss Amanda Rush. We only need to know Druid. So I want a critical botch with Danhausen. Oh man, yeah. Jean loves fainting. It's like her thing, yeah. Oh yeah, that was her. Me and Adam, if you remember from the Borderlands, my longtime friend, we would always say fainting was her superpower. We'd be like, "Oh man, you got the Jean Grey superpower. You just faint." Till she taps into the Phoenix Force. Yeah, and then that's why she keeps fainting. Is she was trying to fight off all that Phoenix power. All right, let's make a poll here. Oops. Let's make a poll for all of these. Nope, Artificer, Barbarian, Bard. Alright, what we got? Skipping Blood Hunter. Cleric, Druid, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk. I don't need that. Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue. Sorcerer next, right? Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. Is it OR? ER? I was confused that one. ER, okay. Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard, Harry. All right, let's create that one. Copy the link. Posting it in the chat so you guys can see it. And let's view which class. Go ahead and vote in there. Which class do you want your Tiefling to be? Remember, you guys made a Tiefling, so we know already that. Falls over. Hand on the forehead, and she's down. Yeah. Yeah, the faint hand. Oh. I was saying it. Scott, I can't hold it. Teeny from the good place. Fetch my tizzy couch. Scott is worthless. Hey, I liked Cyclops. He's just too powerful too. When are you gonna just freaking blast someone's head off with your eyes? It's like in a kid's cartoon. It's never gonna happen. So he never gets to use his power because it's too powerful. Cyclops is the worst. No, villain. I loved him as a kid. I thought he got too much heat. He got too much. He literally could learn to control it, and he didn't. No, he can't. He has the freaking visor because he can't control that. He had to set his visor down to make it a little smaller of a beam. Have a good one, kitty cosplayer. Yes, he can. Wanna bet? No. He lied too much on that visor. Oh, no. Tell Scott I made him a convertible. I love it, Drapens. You remember that? Wolverine out there with the claws. It was a crutch more than a tool. Villain, you're pissing me off here. Pay me my burger. No. No. I liked Cyclops. Prove you're a dick. Just a little Wolverine finger. I love it. Yeah, that checks it. Wolverine is great unless you fight Magneto, which is their main villain. Bobby Drake is Omega level 2. Bobby Drake is Iceman? Who's Bobby Drake? Why Cyclops reaches full potential and he's just resting on his Google-shaped Lawrence. Moon Knight. Oh, yeah, yep, Iceman, okay. I like Rogue on account. I like talking like her, yeah. He is scared as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Juggernaut statue, yeah. My favorites were Colossus and Nightcrawler. Those were my favorites. Magneto, the strongest mutant, changed my mind. Jugs, gotcha. I like that how simple Magneto's power kind of is, and that based in our world is like, oh, you could just take that one simple idea and completely destroy our world of like, oh yeah, he controls metal. oh, the guy's mutant ability is he controls metal. It's like, oh, well, that just breaks our world then. It's like that one simple thing of like, yep, that's all it is. He controls metal. 3 words. And that's a overpowered ability. Cable is hands down strongest of the mutants. Strongest? In what way are you saying strongest? Because I know you're not talking like physically or like strong as in a punch. Or are you talking Cable's metal hand? If you are talking that way. So FNOP. Or are you talking because he could time travel? Which that makes anyone OP is when you could be time traveling. Or am I thinking? I'm thinking also Bishop. He's like, well, they both time travel. Storm was my favorite. Looks good, cool powers. Yeah, Storm was awesome. Really cool look. Just his psionic powers alone. Which is also why I think they kind of went with the fainting with Jean Grey, because it's like anyone that can kind of control moving anything, because at least Magneto was like, okay, he can move stuff, but it has to be metal, where it's like, oh, Jean Grey can move literally anything, no matter what it is. Okay, well, then she has to faint, because that's just too powerful. So, all right, she has some drawbacks there. It's like, yeah, Jean Grey could just control anything. Oh, and she could also tap into your mind. It was like, no, too strong. That was called Nightcrawler Kitty. Gambit was rad. Yeah, Gambit was way. I don't get how Gambit wasn't included in all of the X-Men movies right out of the gate. It's like, how you gonna? Everyone I get is like, Wolverine's the coolest character. It's like, Gambit's the second coolest. Why is he not in everything? Cartoon Crush, him in tuxedo. Oh wow, not ashamed one bit. Wasn't using most of his power to hold the techno organic virus. Give him an arm. Here's a hot take list to fight over. Oh, geez, I'm not even gonna open that. All right, let me check on this. I forgot we did this poll a while ago. Let me check on it. I don't know what to vote on. I'm gonna vote. I don't know. I'm gonna just say Bard. I don't know. All right, let's see. What do we got? What did we win? A Sorcerer, it looks like. You guys, ooh, and really close, Druid. No one wanted Barbarian. No one wanted Ranger. No one wanted Wizard. Nobody wants to be Harry Potter. You don't want to read books to learn your powers? All right, let's see the count here. 3 wanted the Artificer. Reading the Artificer kind of got me into thinking I want to do Artificer. Druid, very good, with 6. Paladin with 5. And then Sorcerer with 7. Wow, won by 1 against the Druid. Won by 1. Voted Sorcerer, I can't believe that one. There you go. No reading, too many steps. I love it. So we're going to do a Tiefling Sorcerer. You're from hell and you got the magic in you. You got the magic in you. That's why I kept that open, so I can start a new poll if we need it. All right. So we're going Sorcerer. I like it. You guys know what you want. You want your magic, and you want it to just be at the ready. You don't want to have to owe someone for it. You don't want to have to read for it. You just want it in you. You want to be a mutant like we're talking about. Dance, magic, dance. All right. So you get some ability score improvements. Spellcasting. Sorcerer's Origin, which you got to choose. How did you get the source of your innate magical power? Is it a draconic bloodline? Do you got some dragon in you? You got a little bit of dragon in your history? The choice is yours, or you could choose from another source. Yeah, there's a lot that we'll be able to go to. The Font of Magic. Yeah, what kind of do you want? Do you want Comic Sans? Do you want Papyrus? That's going to be a whole bunch of stuff you can use with your sorcery points. You got Meta Magic. A lot of cool stuff there. All right. Magic Font, Papyrus. All right. So then now we'll get into some of the Wingding's magic. It'll confuse everyone. Damn it, high five. I like it. I like it. We all went in the same area there. So hit points. Yeah, this will be the math here of, say, if you were doing it on yourself on a character sheet, we get a D6. So that was the other thing, too, is depending on the class you pick, depends on how meaty, how beefy your character is, which sorcerers are usually a little more frail. They only get a D6 out of D12s. Like the barbarians get a D12 of health when they start. So they get essentially 12 hit points when they start. We get 6 hit points when we start. So we get half the what a barbarian would get. And then all the other classes are all kind of in between or at the same as us. So that's what this is kind of pretty much telling you is what your hit points are going to start at. And then every level we're going to go up a D6, which is the 6-sided dice, the normal dice that everyone knows what it looks like. Proficiencies. This, we could choose what we're going to be good at. And these are going to be things on our, when we're role-playing, this is going to be some of the stuff that we could choose. We could choose 2 of these. We get 2 to grab from. 1 and 2. So you could choose from Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion. These are things that when you're rolling, Arcana essentially means like magic, magic lore, magic of the world. If you're trying to be like, ooh, is this dagger I'm looking at, does it look magical? Is this book I'm reading, is there like magic stuff in it? There's that kind of stuff. So that's what Arcana is. Deception is if you're ever lying to someone while we're role playing, and I'm like, okay, let's roll for deception on it. Are you going to be good at that? Are you going to be good at lying at things? There's another one called persuasion. Oh, yeah, over here. They're kind of the opposites of each other, depending on the way you're talking to the person. Are you telling them the truth, but you're trying to get them to side with you? That's persuasion. Deception is, I'm going to just lie to get them to, like, do what I want them to do. Or I'm going to just keep trying to nudge them of, like, hey, dude, I know you got 2 choices to make. I think this will be your better one to go with. So that's kind of the different ways you could do it. You could make both of these things the 2 that you choose. If you just want to be like, I always just want to win every fight, I'll go deception or persuasion. Insight. This is when you're trying to ask about a character of like, I think this guy's lying to me. Does he seem like he's lying to me? You would roll an insight check, and then if you succeeded on that, I would be telling you as a DM of like, yeah, you get he's got to tell. Like you know this guy's giving you some lies, or you think that guy's a shady dude. Like that's kind of you get a little insight from the DM there. Intimidation. That's if you just want to flat out, as it says, intimidate someone to do something. Of I'm going to threaten this guy and I want him to do it. It's like, do you come off, whatever you said? Did it come off the way you said it, or did you look like a little weak cat when you said it, or did you actually look stern and be like, oh, you better do it? And then the last one, religion. Of do you want your person to kind of be knowledgeable if you're looking into anything like that? Of say if you were a chaos magic, yeah. Say if you were a paladin or a cleric, or if you're investigating someone that's like that, do you want to be knowledgeable into those types of things? That's where some religion stuff might happen. Or the world lore. Do you want your character to know some of that kind of stuff? Deceptively intimidating, all bark no bite. Yeah. So we'll do a little vote here, and we'll do the top 2. We'll do the top 2 things that get chosen out of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be the 2 that we choose here. All right, so let's do another poll here. Arcana, Deception, Insight. What were the other ones? Intimidation, Persuasion, Religion. Was it E-N-I-N? Can you vote for 2? I wonder if I can do that. Let me see here. I'll just put which. Settings. Select multiple answers. All right. I'm going to have to just say, I hope you guys do. Okay, do advanced. Set votes. Start voting. No. Okay, I'm just going to do that. You guys could select multiple answers, but just pick 2. Try not to just highlight like 3 of them. That's essentially what it is. Which to be good at. All right. And I'll pick 2. Pick 2. All right. Great poll. Let's see how that goes. Copy the link. And let's view it. Hey, okay, yeah, you can pick 2. All right, there we go. All the proficiencies, just gotta click them all. True chaotic person. All bark, no bite. Yeah, what do you kind of want to do? Whenever I throw something at you, if I have a guy talking to you, what are you gonna try and get out of him? You want to see if he's lying? Do you want to try and persuade him or deceive him into doing something? Do you want to know when things are magical that you find across the world? You're going to find some stuff. You might find these things. You might find a quarterstaff. You might be like, is this quarterstaff magical? It has some religious markings on it. What does that mean? Does your character know? I mean, you might, when you roll on all these things, you might already succeed or fail at them, even if you're good or bad at them. But this just is, what do you kind of want to be better at that you're more likely going to succeed on? That's the kind of fun stuff. We're getting close to having this character pretty much like mechanically built, and then we can always do some flavor in a little. With some backstory and whatnot. Very nice, very evil. All the proficiencies. All right, I'll give you another 10 seconds, and then I'll check it. I'll check that poll. Take the quiz. Hot shot. Dun, 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 dun. You know what? I should get some tunes going here, huh? I could probably get some lo-fi music. Stations. Let's do this. Heyo. Grew up in a traveling circus, and you have proficiency in acrobatics too, yeah. Push all the buttons on the elevator. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping you guys don't do, is just click them all. Man, I want to view the thing and not view free dashboards. What's that about? Go away. Go away. No. Alright, well that's gone now. Blue skin tiefling named Kurt. Just click one and subtract a vote. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Alright, I'll go religion. Huzzah! Alright, yeah, good thing religion was one of the lower ones. Alright, look at that. I like it. So we got Arcana and Deception. I see where you guys are going with this now. I see where you're going. Trying to get president here. I like it. One of mine won, man. I'm 2 for 2. Flying magic demons. Yeah, you essentially wrapped up who our person is so far. Picked those two spoken ones. Aw, you voted religion and insight. Well, again, you're depending. Your character might already be fine in these things anyway. This isn't the only time we pick some of these things. So, Arcana and Deception is what we're gonna go with. Arcana and Deception. All right. So that's the proficiencies. Which this is also. Let me lower this music a little bit more. Dang, thinking the guy was gonna start coming around. Yabby yabby. Persuasion, Deception works too. There you go. So this is also the stuff, because this is all of your proficiencies right now. You're good with daggers. You're good with darts. You're good with slings, pretty much slingshots, or the slings that you twirl around and throw. Quarterstaffs, which is pretty much Donatello, long sticks. And then light crossbows. Lighter ones that usually do a little bit less damage than a heavy crossbow that's two-handed and you gotta like shoot and then reload and pull on. Light crossbows are a little more like the one-hand, little pew ones. Picked insight. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We're building together. So you guys are good with all that kind of stuff. All right, now spellcasting and Sorcerer's Origin we're going to be doing. So spellcasting, an event in your past or life as a parent or ancestor left an indelible mark. Did I say that right? I did say indelible? I said it right? On you. Infusing you with arcane magic. The font of magic. Whatever its origin. Session, check the dark mind. All weapons he's good with, yeah. You got it! The font of magic, whatever its origin, fuels your spells. For the general rules, use all your spells casting. Yeah, he did it, he did it. Alright, at first level, you know 4 cantrips of your choice from the Sorcerer's spell list. You learn additional Sorcerer cantrips at higher levels. But yeah, we start off with 4 spell slots here. The sorcerer table shows how many spell slots you have cast on your sorcerer spell list. So cantrips are spells that you can essentially cast non-stop. You don't need anything else to cast them. It's just pretty much like, oh, you never run out of them. They're real easy, simple ones. They're not like game-breaking type things. It's more just like, oh, I can like flicker on a light or flicker off a light, flicker on a light, flicker off a light. It's just that. That's why you can do it over and over and over again. It's just very simple, small spells. Usually they don't do any damage to anyone. It's just more like, a lot of them are kind of more like role-playing type spells. Okay, so down here, for example, if you know the first level spell Burning Hands, and you have a first level and a second level spell slot available, you can cast Burning Hands using either. Okay, this is pretty much explaining that you have spells, and depending on the spell, you can cast it at a stronger, like a stronger version of it, or a weaker version type of a thing. That's essentially what spell slots are, is you have like, oh, I'll cast it at a level 2, which makes it stronger, or level 1, which is like the starting version of that spell. It says how many spells you know, which is nice. Is doing it in here, it'll have all of that already for you. You don't have to even worry about how many of the first level do I know, how many second level do I know. It's kind of like a video game where you, oh, I've unlocked this spell and I could do it 2 times before it runs out. It's essentially that, of like, okay, the game will keep track of it for you. This stuff will keep track of it for you. Your spell casting ability is your charisma. So a sorcerer, because it's infused in them and all of their magic is within their self, it gets your spells get based on your charisma. So keeping that in mind, you're going to want to keep your charisma when you're building your character stats higher, because then if your charisma is higher in your stat sheet, then all of your spells are more likely to actually connect when you cast them. If you cast a spell and it's like, oh, I keep missing, because your charisma might be too low. You got to up that in your character sheet there. And then this is kind of the math that it would be taking, is you always get 8 plus your proficiency bonus, which means that you're good at something, plus your charisma modifier. And that's the thing you can control. The charisma is what you can control on the stat sheet and make it better or worse. And then a spell casting focus. This is pretty much the what's it called? The flavor of what do you use. So say some people would use a magic ball, and like that's what they use to like cast the spell out of, is like you're not just shooting it out of your hands. You're not the emperor just doing the lightning. It's kind of a weapon. It's you can hold a cane, and like that's where your spells come out of. A book, a wand. Yeah, it's essentially that, of like, what do you want your magic to come out of? I mean, I had a player they wanted to kind of have it come out of their hands, so we just had him wear rings, and it comes out of his rings, essentially looking like it's coming out of his hands. So he could do the emperor, stuff like that. Something cooler than a wand, yeah. So that we could you guys could think on, and you could throw stuff out into the chat and whatnot, and we can just take some of the suggestions and put them in a poll. But that's a thing that you guys will be... or gloves, like Roy Mustang. Let's go find tears. How about fancy glove or gauntlet? Wow, shoot lightning out of my butt. What about slap bracelets? Power glove. Everyone's loving the glove. So then that's also a fun flavor thing of being a DM. I could always be there could be a moment where I take your glove away, say if it is a glove, and then it's like, oh crap, how are you gonna cast stuff now? You don't got your glove that the magic comes out of. Slap bracelets, yeah. Oh no, the glove, yeah. And Wonder Woman cuffs, yeah. It's essentially that of, even like Gandalf, he had his staff, and then he got that taken away, and then he was up on the roof by himself, and it's like, now this all-powerful guy can't do things. He's just up on top of a tower without a stick. No gloves, no love. He also had his ring. Yeah, he still had stuff, but it's like he could just use it as a version of that story there. Not everything's a perfect 1-in-1 ratio. What if they had a magic ring pop? And then the Sorcerer's Origin. Choose the Sorcerer's Origin, which describes the source of your innate magical power. Let's see some of these options here. Ooh, you can have an Aberrant Mind, a Clockwork Soul, Divine Soul, Draconic Bloodline, Shadow Magic, Storm Sorcery, or Wild Magic. Do they not have, like, descriptions of all these? They just have, like, oh, these are all thingies. I wish they had a little bit of a description of all of them. Oh, wait, do I gotta click it and then it'll say it? Okay, so you do get some stuff with these. Chaos, Infernal, Wild Magic, I like emote. Scream with having chess fans. Draconic a lot, yeah. So we can even throw these up. We can throw these on there. It looks like Aberrant Mind. You learn additional spells. Psychonic stuff. Okay, so this is gonna be telepathic speech. Wow, alright. Let's see, Aberrant Mind. Clockwork Soul. Let's see what goes on these. Clockwork Spells table. Alarm Protection. Aid. Lesser Restoration. So these are some of the sample ones you can kind of get. Spectral cogwheels hover behind you. The hands of a clock spins in your eyes. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, some clockwork type magic. Divine Soul. Cure wounds, inflict wounds, bless. Okay, so you're into some divine stuff. You can heal and harm. By the gods. So that's the divine soul. Draconic bloodline. You're a draconic ancestor. You got some pretty much some dragon blood in you. So again, you could choose a color of dragon, and then that's the kind of stuff you'd be having associated damage type. Like, ooh, I want to be a blue dragon that has some lightning. You got some blue dragon blood in you. So you probably got a little bit of lightning flowing through you in some way. Shadow magic. Eyes of the dark. Can see through the darkness created by the spell. Shoot friggin' lightning, yeah. And then, oh, so this one gives you the Strength of the Grave. This one essentially is the Undertaker pop-up ability. You can do this where you pop back up after going down to 0 hit points. Lightning out of the butt. That's some shadow magic. Storm Sorcery. Wind Speaker. Elemental Air. Okay. Tempest. Elemental Air. Okay, so this is kind of really into some air stuff, the Storm Sorcery. And then Wild Magic, which this is Chaos Magic. Tides of Chaos, yeah. So Wild Magic Surge. This one is if you want absolute chaos, guys, happening. Every time, let me see here. Let me read it before I explain it. Once per turn, the DM will have you roll a d20 immediately after you cast a sorcerer spell first. Yep, so pretty much every time you cast a spell, you roll a d20, and anytime you roll a 1 on the chaos, then you go to the chaos Wild Magic Surge. So it's essentially every time you cast a spell, there's a, 5% chance that you might get a side effect to your spell. Do we even know? Yeah, there's a tape here. And then, so if you rolled the 1, then you would now open this, a side effect happen to your magic. And then you roll on this table, whatever you roll, say if you rolled a 31 or 32, you are all teleported to the astral plane until the end of your next turn. After which time you return to the space you previously occupied, to the nearest unoccupied space. So it's essentially, you just spend a turn on the astral plane, which is just you're in limbo now, for 1 turn during a battle. And then you come back after you casted the spell or something. Just chaos magic is essentially what this is. It's just, oh, a side effect happened, I don't know what happened. And then I'm back here now. Stuff like that. A D10 and it changes your height. Yeah. Yep, 11 through 12. The height changes by a number. Yeah, you could just change. You could just change your height. That one is wild magic, folks. Out of these. That one's, again, like I said, it's every time you cast a spell, there's a 5% chance it might happen. It's not big. It's not like it's going to happen often, but there's a chance every time you cast a spell. Yeah, it's all in the blood and the backstory. Yeah, so pretty much that's what it is Sorcerer's Origin we'll be getting. Alright, so let's do Aberrant. I'm not even going to try and... I can't copy that, damn it. Aberrant Mind, I got to be writing. This is Sorcerer's Origin. Origin of your power! I don't even know if I spelled that right. Let's go back and check. Aberrant. Aberrant Mind, Clockwork Soul, Divine Soul. Draconic Bloodline, Shadow Magic. Storm Sorcery, and Wild Magic. Did I spell sorcery right? Oh, I feel like that's wrong. Sorcery. I guess that's right. All right. Alright, so we got those, Origin of Power. Let me go back to the settings. I don't want you picking multiple alliances. Okay. Alright, let's create this poll. Copy the link. I don't want to view it. Make sure it's good. Copy. Control V. There we go. There's the link, guys. Go through and pick which origin is... How'd you get your power? It's in you. You're going to have your power. You're a Tiefling Sorcerer. But how did you get it? Why do you have it? Why does this Tiefling have this power? And what kind of little side things do you want to be doing? Aberrant Mind, do you want to be doing some mind effing stuff? You want to be able to do some, oh yeah, calm emotions, detect thoughts. You can read minds, dissonant whispers. You could just put whispers into people's heads. You can calm them. You can send them a message in their head. Pretty much like a text message to them. Or a voicemail, I guess. Clockwork stuff. Do you want to have, again, you want to have a, what is it? Steampunk type magic? Divine. Do you want to be able to cure wounds, inflict wounds, bless someone, bane someone? Do you want to have draconic bloodline? Do you want to have some dragon in you? Is that the reason you got it? Is because an ancient dragon... You got some of their blood in you. That could come in handy. If you're ever going to fight a dragon, you could be like, I carry the blood of Jan Khaleesi. Deception, yeah. Aberrant sounds kind of rad, yeah. Shadow magic. I stand alone. Pretty much, yeah, you want Undertaker pop-up? Do you want to see the eyes of the dark? Yeah, my grandpa was a dragon, yeah. Storm sorcery. It seems like it's a lot of wind stuff for this one. I feel like this... I don't know how... I don't think you guys are going to really want to do a lot of this kind of thing. I feel like that might be the one that doesn't get any votes. Or wild magic. Do you want just pure chaos? Total non-stop chaos. That's essentially what this is there's 100 choices here. Well, I mean, everything has a little category in here, but there's a bunch of choices of... Some stuff can happen to you. You can have side effects to your magic. Warlocks are magical sugar babies. Yeah, they are, villain. Like we're deceptive and we can get in people's hands and feel potentially cool. Yeah. Put that blood in the fire. I like it. What do we got? What do we got here? Gulag, yeah. I'll give you guys another 20 seconds to vote. Vote on it. This is my first D&D character. Oh, I'm seeing your pictures in the chat, Blaze. Got her tattooed? Wow. Taking for sure your own calf is not easy. Yeah, that's awesome. That turned out good. The tattoo artist did a good job of getting it. That's cool. So we're a Tiefling Sorcerer. I forget what we were good at. We were good at some stuff. What did we choose here? Proficiencies, Arcana and Deception, yeah. Good at magic, like you said, good in that. Good at getting people, you're lying to people and making them believe you're not lying. He's great tattoos, but he's heavy-handed, Afe. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's do it. Let's see. For a task for more regular bakes? Oh, while you're getting tattooed, I gotcha. Alright, I'm gonna go. I feel like nobody voted for that one, so I feel like that should be safe enough to vote for. Oh, a couple people voted. Hey, that's cool. Oh, one other person voted, and then my vote, it was still stayed in the one. Nobody wanted Clockwork or Divine? That makes sense. I mean, we spent a good amount of time on the Wild Magic. It makes sense why it went, and you're the Chaotic Crew. Wild Magic wins it, guys. We're gonna have crazy chaos. There's side effects to your magic. It was wild. I like Aberrant Mind got a couple, got 4. Draconic Bloodline got 4. That's like another cool one. I like it, but yep, Wild Magic took it with 9. Yeah. Wild Magic, look at that. Almost half. Chaotic Crew of Cutler Crusaders. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Wild Magic it is. So starting when you choose this origin at first level, your spellcasting can unleash surges of untamed magic. Side effects. Side effects are known to increase height. Be sent to the abstract dimensions. If you roll a 1 on the Wild Magic Surge table to create a magical effect. Oh, sorry, I skipped a line here. The DM can have you roll a d20 immediately after you cast a sorcerer's spell of 1 first level or higher. If you roll a 1, then roll on this surge table to create a magical effect that happens. If the effect is a spell, it is too wild to be affected by your meta magic. And if it normally requires concentration, it does not require concentration. In this case, the spell lasts for its full duration. So that's what they're saying is if that effect is a spell, if one of these things is like how you cast confusion on yourself, that's a spell. So if it's a spell, it's too wild to be affected by your meta magic, so it's gonna happen. You can't stop it from happening. It will happen. And if it normally requires concentration, this does not require concentration, and it will last for its full duration. So like it's essentially saying whatever this is, ignore all the normal rules for like that spell. It just happens. This is essentially telling you these are the rules explaining. Don't worry about all the rules of what a normal fireball is. This fireball happens. And it's at 3rd level and it's going to be on yourself. Like you can cast fireball on yourself. Which is a very powerful spell. And to be at 3rd level, that's going to probably kill you. If it triggers, like I said, you roll a d20 and you got to get a 1. You got to get a critical botch to trigger something on this table. Or, I mean, this could happen. You could regain 2d10 of hit points. You could regain hit points. You don't know. I didn't ask how heroic the room was. I said I cast Fireball. Yes, I fix confusion, lack of focus, fireballs, death, consult your doctor. Yeah. A lot of stuff like that. You could cast levitate on yourself. It could be something as easy as that. A unicorn controlled by the DM appears within the space 5 feet and then disappears 1 minute after. Stuff like that can happen. A unicorn. You could get a unicorn for a minute. Any of that kind of stuff. You're immune to being intoxicated by alcohol for the next, and then you got to roll 5d6 days. That's a lot. Say if you rolled a 1 on all those, that would still be 5 days. That's a minimum of 5 days. You're immune to being intoxicated for a minimum of 5 days, maximum of 30 days. 5 to 30 days you could be immune to being intoxicated. Your hair falls out but grows back within 24 hours. Stuff like that. 41, 42, what the hell? You turn into a potted plant. A potted plant until the start of your next turn. While a plant, you are incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage, which means all damage doubles is what vulnerability means, is that it will double the damage that you take. If you drop to 0 hit points, your pot breaks and your form reverts. You just turn back into your normal form again. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in here, guys. Some of it's real big and crazy. Some of it's just, oh, that was cute. I hate when my pot breaks. There you go, hit my bong. So you guys went for chaos. I like it. The other thing that we didn't really look at is this Tides of Chaos. Starting at first level, you can manipulate the forces of chance and chaos to gain advantage on one attack roll, which means you roll 2 dice and you just take the higher number of those 2. So it gives you a little bit better of a chance of hitting something. Ability check or saving throw. Once you do so, you must finish a long rest before you can use this feature again. Meaning, you could essentially do it like once a day. Anytime before you regain this to use this feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Magic Surge table immediately after you cast a Sorcerer's spell of first or high. You then regain the use of this feature. So I can literally choose the Tides of Chaos, and I could just be like, you know what, that spell you're gonna have to roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. Not even gonna have to roll the d20 to see if you get a 1. I just say you do have to roll on it. So it's essentially that, of you get advantage on one of your rolls, and then I can make you roll on that Chaos table whenever I choose during that day. So there's the Tides of Chaos for you that you guys can use. I like it. On the other, I think we're about to wrap up here. Don't worry, Mr. Amanda Rush. Don't make more coffee. We're not going to make many more. I think we're almost done with the mechanics of our person at the moment. I think let's just do this last thing, and this will be it. This is our abilities here. We can do, so the standard array is they're going to give us points like 8 points, 10 points, 12 points, 14 points. They'll give us points, and then we just say where they go. Or we could do, I manually roll some. Is it not showing that there? Yeah, I can manually roll some. We could do a standard array. Or we can point by, which is kind of the same as like standard array. Where like, you see we got like 8, 10, 12, 13. And then once we use the 15, we don't got the 15 anymore. Now we got a 14, 10, 8. But then we used it, so we don't got another one of it. Roll 'em, Bran. So what do we, let's do a quick one on that. We'll either do the standard array or roll. I'll put Brian in roll so you know who's rolling them. Okay, boom, boom. There you guys go. So now you could choose standard array, or I'll roll the character stats. Some test rolls, see what your luck is. All right, let me grab some dice here. I think all I got are these ones at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, looks like it. All right. So I got these. So now I need 4. 3, 4. I got these Oogie Boogie dice. So I'll just bring the camera down so you guys can see here. Move that over to the side. Move that over to the side. All right. So let's see. What do we got? If I'm rolling some, I got a 6 there, a 6 there, a 4, and a 3. So on these, you roll 4, but you take the lowest number away. So we would take the 3 away, and we would keep the 6, 6, and 4. So this would be 16. So we would put 16 points on one of our stats. And we would do this for all 6 of those stats there. So I'd roll again. Like I got a 6, a 6, a 5, and a 4. So we would take the 4 away. And this would be almost, what was that, 17 points? So I got a 16 and a 17. It's actually really good. So that's what we're playing with at the moment. These rolls are incredible. Yeah, those were really good rolls. All right, let's check here. I'll vote for Brandon roll and 100% Brandon roll. Everyone said Brandon roll. 14 people. Well, 13 of you, and then I voted one on there. 16, 17, should we keep those? All right. I'll keep the 16 and 17. We will keep those. All right, so manual / rolled. So we got 16 and 17. I'm gonna write these down. 17 being the high. We want our highest thing to be in charisma, because again, this is where we cast our spells. So we want that to be the highest number out of all the numbers we're about to get. And then I'll just start writing the rest of them out. I'll just put them in the order that I roll them from now on. But yeah, a perfect roll is an 18. So we essentially got 1 away from a perfect roll. All right, let's do the other 4 now. Ooh, 6, 6, 4, and a 4. So we take one of the 4s away, and that's a 14 right there. 6, 6, yeah. So then we got 14 there. All right, let's do another. Oh, 16. Sorry, you're right. That is 16. Sir, that is 16. You are correct. I thought that was low. I was like, wait, I rolled 2 6s and that's only 14? What happened to the dice cam? I just got it put away. I tucked it away. All right. Math. Yeah, hey, I'm at the end of my wits here. It's 11 o'clock my time. I got 2 kids. All right. I got 2 3s there, so we'll take one of the 3s away. We got 6, a 5, and a 3. That's 14. That one is 14. Damn. These are really good stats, guys. Nice, Blaze. I like the use of the emotes. Yeah, now that's 14. All right. Another roll here. Ooh, a 6, but here's my classic Cutler terrible rolls. We got a 1, 2, and a 3. So we at least take the 1 away. But we got a 6, 3, and 2. That's an 11. So we got 1, and it's still over 10, which isn't bad. Over 10 is still good. 10 is the average, if you're wondering. 10 that's an average stat. It's not good or bad. So we have all above average. All right, last one, guys. Last one. I really want a real bad one because everybody needs a dump stat, right? Everybody needs like an 8. Oh man, I got a 6, a 5, a 4, and a 1. So we ditched the 1, and that's a 15. Dang. This is probably the best I think I've ever rolled. A 17, 2 16s, a 15, 14, and 11 is the lowest? Yeah, dump stat of 11. That's insanely good, guys. I don't think you know. Any of you that don't know, that's really good. So, like, as you saw, standard array, you have an 8, a 10, an 11, a 12. You have a lot that are, like, just barely above. This is, like, the stats of a character that's been playing for a long time. Is the curse broken? I see no dice cam. No dice cam. The dice cam was cursed, guys. That's what it was. It wasn't me. Any dice rolled in front of that dice cam was the curse. We broke the curse, guys. We solved it. Never gonna use that dice cam again. Another birthday miracle. Yeah, dump strength. Everyone's saying dump strength. Yeah, so all right, well, let me switch strength here. So I'll put the 11 over here, and I'll put this to a 16, just so we at least have them all. So like I said, charisma, we definitely want to be the absolute highest. You're gonna get, because you're a tiefling, I forget, what was it? Racial bonus? Because of a tiefling, you get an intelligence already gets boosted, and then also charisma gets boosted from being a tiefling. So the charisma, a perfect score is 20, and starting out, your character has a 19 in charisma. So being that this is going to be what you cast spells with, you get a +4, because if we got this up to 20, then it would go to a +5, which is the max. That stat is maxed out. This character is already almost maxed out in their spellcasting, as far as like what you're gonna get for bonuses and whatnot. It's a Festivus miracle, yeah. Swap Dex and Wisdom. Okay, I'll do that too. I'm gonna just oh, so 15 and 16. All right, so that's 16. This one's 15. Yeah, and that's the nice thing too, is you have a 17, 16, 16, 15. Those are all so close that these 4 stats are pretty much really good. Constitution is still good. And then strength is like, yeah, being a spellcaster, you're not going to need to use strength too much. Unless you guys wanted to play the version where it is like, oh, I'm like a buff spellcaster, physically strong and mentally strong. You could go that way. It's how you guys want to pretty much go that route. I go where villain and please lead me, yeah. That's a decent con for a squishy guy, yeah. Being that it's you get a +2. So that's the nice thing is, so as you see here in your constitution, you have a +2. Every time you level up, you'll gain that D6 of health, but then you'll also gain +2 automatically to your health. So that's great, as every time you level up, you'll automatically get minimum of 3 health points, maximum of 8 health points. 3 to 8 health points every time you level up. We're not buff, we're tricky and chaotic. Yeah, it sounds like what you guys want to do. So then that's where, if especially that you want to be tricky and whatnot, that's where you're going to want to have, again, like, yeah, your wisdom intelligence being the 16s. That's going to be all of your mind stats is in those 2. Get 8 health points at level 1. Yeah, that's true, Brenda Thomas. Very good. Yep. You are correct in that. So then now that we're done on putting those stats there, we could go over, oh yeah, we gotta get a character name. That's essentially, and then we'll do more background and like other stuff, I think, next time we're here. Or more firm, like tofu. Kurt Wagner. I like it. Be a blue tiefling. Hey, that's my one dude I made. Where's my collections? Let me go to my characters here. That's this dude. Is I made him essentially like, because we had an artist do all of our guys. I made him essentially be Nightcrawler. That's why I made a blue tiefling. Let me see the art. A blue tiefling, and I said I want him to look like Nightcrawler. I want him to have jet black hair. This was my blue tiefling I made. It was he's a monk. I made a tiefling monk at level 4 there. Once you pick a background, I'll start drawing up different. Okay, so I guess we could still pick. Man, this is a complicated one though, because there's a lot that goes into these. What do you guys think? Should we just use generator, get ideas, and vote, or just toss stuff up? Should post my character for art. We could do generator. Could do a generator and vote. More chaos. Yeah. So maybe, man. All right, we'll go through these kind of quick here. We'll get some of these. So Acolyte. Did you pick out spells? We have not picked out spells. That'll be, I think, once we're starting to like do a little bit more, because we're getting a little late into this. So I want to try and, I think now that we have our general thing, maybe we could, maybe we'll take this to another. I feel like we could spend a whole nother session. Oh, you guys don't even get to see this as I do a drop down. Yeah, you guys don't get to see it, the drop down menu for some reason on this. So it's essentially like how they have, like, yeah, you could be a criminal, you could be a charlatan, You could be an entertainer. You could be a folk hero. You could be a gladiator. You could be haunted one. You could be a hermit. You could be a knight. You could be a noble. You could be a noble in the town that you're in. You could be an outlander. You could be a pirate. You could be a sage. You could be a sailor. You could be a soldier. You could be in the army. You could be an urchin. There's a lot that you could do here. So I think what we're going to do on this one, because it could get so detailed, is I think we're going to take it to our Discord, and we'll spend a couple days here doing some votes on that kind of stuff. Especially that I think we'll just pause for tonight. You're going to want to read through some of those. Yeah, a lot of these are a lot more depth and stuff. So I think we'll do like naming character and choosing background stuff. We'll take this into our Discord. So if you need the Discord link for anyone that's here, you'll be able to follow along. Especially if you're a subscriber, you'll be able to get into the locked channels on there. Yeah, enjoy reading homework. We'll do that one, like I said, maybe on another stream. I'll open those up and we'll talk about them all. And then after that stream, we'll vote and whatnot. There we go. But yeah, this is a lot more role-playing flavor that we can put on our person. But we got some good stuff. We got really far for the night. I like it. As you saw, yeah, it was what? Maybe an hour was us chatting, and then 2 hours was finally getting into the character creation. So that's where we'll pause it for today. Y'all can make a free Dan and be on count. You can read up on the backgrounds. Yeah, that's true. You could. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's go back into my character creations over here. Great night, needed it. Heck yeah. So who do we got here? Chat's character, level 1 Tiefling, Sorcerer, Wild Magic. That's gonna be cool. So much fun and informative. But yeah. So now we're gonna get into really making the flavor, because now we'll choose what color Tiefling you guys are gonna kind of want to go for, what shade, choose what kind of background you really want to have. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. But that's where we'll end today's session. That's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to making more of this with you guys. And my new dice mold is on the way. Oh, aw, thanks, Mr. Amanda Rush. Hey, thanks, guys, for getting the happy birthdays. But, all right, I'll end the stream there. Thank you all so much. I'll try and upload this VOD, so then anyone that wasn't here live could catch up and see how we got to all the decisions we ended up making. Thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes. This was a great way to end my birthday. I still got an hour left. I'm gonna go chill and hang out with Lady Cutler. Enjoy your night, folks. Thank you all so much.